And I've seen women on social media saying, oh, now we'll never chase a man. Then it means you will never date your type. You date the type that wants you.
That's desperate for you. And then
It's not desperate, dog.
when
No, it's not
Desperate is going after what doesn't want you.
Exactly.
That's desperation. Let's say when your girlfriend is, let's say Lesejo's baby mama, there'll always be that attachment to them. Like Lesejo at some point can always summon your girl.
shit, someone is fucked up. And you're right, because that's
Because I remember once.
that's what
So let's say now there's two kids, right? How discipline this one that's not your biological child. She will always interfere or feel like you overstep.
generally
and
that's
whatnot.
always going to be
And
the
the
case.
one that's your biological child, she will take a
As if
Lenience.
you're
a
spoiling
step
them.
back because you know what, you're doing it out of love.
out of love.
Yeah, with this one you'll always be questioned and
Why?
and
Because with the hookup, you're coming to an agreement. There's no lying. You look at me, I look at you.
why Umbita king of hookup.
I tell
He's
you,
finding the positives in
my
hookup.
man.
He's going to make sure he finds it.
Bruh.
But it's facts, guys. It's really facts. I'm not trying to find and defend. It's facts. So listen to
We
this.
listen, we
He
don't
set
judge.
up your ring. This guy.
For
He set
me,
up your ring.
it makes sense for the people that have kids to date themselves, because it's not fair for me if I'm gonna come with a kid and I'm dating someone that doesn't have a kid, and we're not going through the experience of having the kid for the first time together.
You see, you know,
Wena so utlaka experience how. So now, for an example,
So it makes sense why back in the days they wanted you the first person you sleep with, basically either your partner or the mutual sanliana, because they can't really compare you with someone else because you're their first and only. You all they know. So now everyone has had chocolate cake. I got chocolate cake, let's say carrot cake, velvet cake, yako shetoka to whatever.
so here you are, you're dating this particular girl. You are telling yourself, "Ravi, thinking I'm the only person there," you know? Yeah, now on the other hand, she has maybe 3 other motherfuckers and maybe other niggas who are still hollering at her, who she's freely giving opportunities to. Opportunities being, okay, you stand a chance to be with me, to sleep with me, to court me, to date
sometimes
me.
you go through your hardships trying to make it, and then you make it once you're probably like 35 or something, and then you're trying to find a good person, and you find someone that wasted their 20s and they were sleeping around the whole of their 20s. And then now you're thinking to yourself, where the fuck am I going to find a person?
I'm just saying that the climate is so fucked up right now that hookups are probably better. You save yourself from fucking
Also,
heartaches. You save
saying,
yourself
Kole,
from.
you would go for a hookup in a relationship.
I'm not saying I would
What
go
are you
for it.
saying?
The ideal thing is a relationship, but relationships aren't relationships anymore.
Exactly, so you
But
go
I'm
for
just
a
saying
hookup.
that the hookup is better.
Okay, so you would go for a hookup.
Wouldn't it be ideal for her to give you everything on the first date?
It would be, but I'm going to judge her.
That's the problem. Why would you want it, but you don't want
She's
it?
done this,
But that's the problem. What if she's only doing it with you for the first time?
bro. What are the chances?
Ah, come on, my man.
You think she's? if
But
it was said by someone
am
else-
I fat? She's feeling fat. Her confidence is low. She just wanted assurance from you. Even if you're lying, she
And
knows
the
you're
only person
lying.
That matters right now. Are you gonna say you?
Baby,
fucking fat?
look.
It's like this, Puaka.
You can't remember the conversation. That conversation just went. Anyway, start the show, my man.
Junior high hallway kings imitating MCs, beatboxing, breaking, Zulu Nation wannabes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good day, whatever time that it is that you're watching this. Welcome to Global Streetz Live, GSL, the one and
Podcast.
only podcast that will be real with you and also connect with you and do what you'd like it to do. My name is Witty, and I am going to be talking about a whole lot of things. I got my boy Lesego. I got my boy Kagiso.
Angisiboy ngindoda mina phela.
Like I said, imitating MC's beatbox and breaking Zulu Nation wannabes. But anyway, we are joined here today again, coming back at it. And yeah, we're going to be talking about some really touching, concerning, heart-throbbing conversations that we would obviously just want you guys to be in touch
What
with.
throbbing?
To also heart-throbbing.
Oh.
Thought I was saying what? Pussy throbbing. Dick throbbing. What do you want me to say? So you making me say the wrong things. I'm
Continue.
trying to be serious. Yeah, man.
Continue.
Aluta continua. Guys, you're distracting me. Guys, come on, man. Anyway, what are the topics for today? Actually, firstly, how are you, my dog? What's happening?
This guy has ADHD.
He's everywhere, bro.
ADHD. How are you doing, my dog?
I'm good at you, my dog.
Taking it easy, step at a time, doing what we do best.
That's
KG?
talking shit.
How are you doing? Let's talk shit. How are you doing, my
Oh,
dog?
beautiful, bro.
Nah.
Beautiful. Can't go.
All right. Let's sing to you, guys.
Should-
He's gonna take us there.
Should people with kids date each other?
Definitely. You deserve each other. No, I'm joking. But look, from my perspective, I think it's just a person's choice, really. You know, there are people that don't have kids and are willing to be with people that have kids. There are people that don't have kids that don't want people that have kids. So I think it all just depends on what your feel is with who you want to be.
So what do you say with the saying that says, let's say when your girlfriend is, let's say, Lesego's baby mama, there'll always be that attachment to them. Like Lesego at some point can always summon your girl.
Shit, someone is fucked up. And you're right, because that's
'Cause
what,
I remember once-
that's what baby daddies do. They summon their
Yeah. There was once a lady I worked with. She comes to me, she's like, bruh, and I'm gonna go keep baby mom. I never date a girl that has kids. Why? Because that very same weekend, she has a partner, but she slept with the baby daddy. And she was saying, oh, never date someone that has kids, because to a certain point, they'll always have those attachments to the baby daddy.
True. There'll always be a reason to go back to the baby daddy.
No.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is,
I don't agree.
Okay. Now, like we once said on the podcast, to say, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be with somebody that, you know,
As a child.
has a child. You know what I mean? Like long term, it will. In the beginning, it might be okay and it might seem possible, but I know myself. Eventually, there will be things that are going to irritate me. There are going to be things that are going to make me feel like this is a little too much for me. You know what I mean? Like I said, I also once said to say the attention on its own literally just now goes to the child. You know, it's not going to come to me. Like I'm always going to be second best. I'm always going to be second priority. You know, there's priority one, and then there's Witty. Priority one, Witty. Nah, I wouldn't fucking deal with that. Like I can't. Like not in a bad way, but I just feel like it's
You
something I
already
would
said
not
I
be
wouldn't
able to.
fucking deal with it.
I wouldn't
Fucking deal with it.
fucking deal with it.
So, what's your take on that? Even if you and her have a beautiful relationship, né? But her first child go amutumo, and you end up having kids with her, do you think there'll be that thing ya hore she will overcompensate with the child of a different father simply because she will feel like the child might feel left out because, let's say, this one is your biological child and this one isn't?
You see, so when you say overcompensate, meaning she's now like what? Treating our child.
So let's say now there's 2 kids, right? How discipline this one that's not your biological child. She will always interfere or feel like you overstep.
Generally,
and
that's
whatnot.
always going to be
And
the
the
case.
one that's your biological child, she will take
As if you're
Lenience.
a
spoiling
step
them.
back because you know what, you're doing it out of love.
Out of love.
Yeah, with this one, you'll always be questioned and.
And in most cases, that's normally how it actually goes.
Actually, I have experience in that.
No.
Yeah, so I dated this girl. Didn't have a child myself at the time, right? And she had a child. I remember, and this was the first time. The child was there, and I made a comment, and this was just a comment. Ne? I didn't do anything to the child, like physically, as if I was going to fight with the child. It was just a comment that I made about the childhood. Ngwana ustod. And liteng ki etsa jokingly. Mfana, she took offense. She took offense and she started coming at me. And that time, we've got visitors,
Yo.
which is her sister and her man's sister,
Yo.
right? And I made a comment, kire, makangan. Mfana, go and attend to the door. So kiri, makangani wakang. Mfana, she took offense. She took offense, mfana. And everything ki realize when she's now starting making comments about me. And as Fatlo si change sheets, and we've got visitors. And I'm like, you took offense. No, man, I was just saying it. And everything I'm not saying it like
In a bad way, yeah. You know, you just comment and just say, hey, stay there. Kila one.
So I do have experience in that, and very, I think that will always be the case because you treating the child that is not yours in a relationship, however you treat the child, it is going to be under a microscope. How are you doing with this child? Sometimes it's even genuinely on a parent level. You know, you don't have any ill intentions behind however you treat the child. She's going to take offense because in her mind she's thinking to herself, you don't like my child.
And, you know, now that you're also saying that, one thing I've also just really picked up in society in general, nah, is, and yes, this might just be, it's still part of this topic, but yeah, it might just be a little deviating. But I've noticed that men tend to be very accommodating when it comes to children that aren't biologically theirs. So you meet a woman, you are going to be with her for, well, yeah, you know, you're going to be with her and she'll obviously introduce you to the child and you'll be very loving as a man. However, women, on the other hand, they tend to be very selective and, what's the term? Not choosy, but they tend to be, what's the word, man? Khatullah, what is it?
Can't
What's
say
the word?
picky.
Huh?
Can't say picky.
Or they tend to have like favorites in relationships. To say, if I come with my child and she has a child too, she's always going to put her child priority, making them or favor her child. She's not gonna like treat them the same. Whereas Rona Machita, we are able to actually treat children the same.
I think it's wakamoto. Because even guys are like that as well.
You think?
Yeah.
And in most cases,
Yeah,
like
but
in most situations where the guy either comes with a child or meets the girl, the girl has a child, and then they make a child after that, men normally just treat the children the same. There's no favorite. They'll love them the same, gift them the same, and. Whereas women, on the other hand, tend to have like favorites to say, okay, my child that I gave birth to is always going to be my favorite. As I went into this relationship.
There's a stat that
what
I
are you-
once heard, Jorge. The number one abuse that a child can go through in life, and this is the top of the toppest, is through a stepmother.
Yeah. Stepmothers are worst.
Everything else in terms of the abuse towards the child
Stepfathers
comes
are loving.
after.
Stepmothers-
Stepmother is number one.
True,
Not all of them, but
it makes sense
most.
because the number of stepmothers as opposed to stepfathers is much greater, and it also now. I'm not saying hore, it's justified hore number ya bona you demon.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing a different perspective into it. I mean, but ba bangata ba senyang outside lenyalo relationship, batla ka ngwana, it's usually ma out. So it depends on the circumstances of you becoming a stepmother. Also, I mean, if when I know limside wa house, they'll always have hashibile or a motola talela di
O tlile ka ditsela tse wrong.
Sometimes our senior account, like previous relationship never worked. But sometimes maybe you were married, then the mother died.
Okay, in that
Coming
case,
with
in
the
that
child.
case, there's reason for resentment.
Even
but
though it's
Ronaldo
not-
Bua on a normal case where you meet
Even that reason is fucked up.
Huh?
Even that
It
reason
is.
is
It
fucked
is
up.
reason.
Ngwana ha
It is
etsa
fucked
next,
up.
but
You wanna etsa next, but it causes that resentment to say utlile ka infidelity. It's not a good reason, or let me rather say it's not like a valid reason, but it's still reason on top to say I despise this child because he or she brought a lot of turmoil in my relationship.
Yeah,
The
child represents that thing.
infidelity, represents dishonesty. Like it's always just going to be associated with kak on top.
You
But-
know, the other thing that I'm thinking about in this situation about dating someone that has a child as someone that you has a child yourself, it makes sense for me because sometimes it's not fair for you to put the kids in that situation whereby, because one thing I do know about girls and women is that they like to be number one and they will always see your kid as someone that's standing in their way, which is the reason why they will have something against the child, even though the child is just a child. This is my child. You are my woman. The child didn't do anything, right? So they'll always see the child as someone that's standing in their way. For me, it makes sense for the people that have kids to date themselves because it's not fair for me if I'm going to come with a kid and I'm dating someone that doesn't have a kid and we're not going through the experience of having the kid for the first time together.
You see,
Wena so utlaka experience how. So now, for an example, you as someone that doesn't
But
have
now-
a child, you as someone that doesn't have a child, you date someone that has a child. Motho wa
Ah, ne re
teng,
qala.
o zama mo bontsha, sa jwetsa gore, no, I know.
When the
O tseba
topic
wena,
started,
ha ona
O
ngwana.
tsebang wena?
when the topic started, we like, should people with kids date one another? You like, you disagree.
No, I was disagreeing with something. I can't even remember what was it.
But now you agreeing, hore. It's unfair if you call 1-0 down or 2-0 down.
Yeah, you see.
I wonder if each person is coming with their own kid.
Then it's like, yeah,
It's
like,
a different matter
yeah.
altogether, and it's not even about
You
score.
both have experience.
It's not about score. It's about the mental maturity
Yeah.
of Utilanwa.
But one thing I do know about life sometimes is that you will fall in love with someone that has a kid.
You will, but you know what's always the barrier point?
You're gonna have
It's gonna be
to-
that very same child.
You're gonna have to.
Even if you know.
You know there-
A simple thing ya hore no o not drink wa itsholla wa discipline ke ngwana man mo tloela ha etsane kapa sneng la lwana re ya wena ha itla ho ngwana, because
Ha
I've
mo
also
rate
been in
ngwana.
such a situation.
All right, thing on
Yeah, when every time when the child is involved, your face
Have
changes.
you also
so
dated someone that has a child?
I might have,
Looks like a yes.
but I've never met their children.
Now I do have experience.
So now, when
And
you,
it's
when
not
you
a good
spoke about
experience. I
falling
don't
in
want to
love
lie
with
to you. For
somebody,
someone that doesn't have a child.
there have been times when I've really liked a particular woman, and I'll be like, "Fuck, I really like this girl." But there's always that however, and that however will very quick turn into a "I'm sorry, I have to go" type of thing. Because,
It's a good thing you let them know.
huh?
It's a good thing you let them know.
Yeah, but it's just that thing, Fedor. I just, I really like her, and she seems potential enough. However, because she is already having a child, is that thing your ish? I can't. I can't be with you simply because of that. And it's not in a bad way, but it's just my preference. It's more of a preference, and it's also maybe just other people's experiences that have also maybe just shied me away from wanting to.
That's why I
deal with
wanted
that.
to find out, Jorge, from your reason why.
Yeah, no,
Kagiso said it a couple of times, Jorge. And then utlonka offense.
Yeah.
What. And you both have kids. There's gonna be a certain level of overprotectiveness
Yeah.
to a child that's not
But
biologically
nothing. My
yours.
concern was always that you're not gonna love me to the fullest
Okay.
because you already have somebody who you love.
But even
more
if
than
it's your
anything.
biological child, already that changes.
What?
Your child is gonna take first preference when it comes
But that's
to
what
the
I'm
lady.
saying. Like, now I don't have a child, meaning I'm gonna have to find somebody who doesn't have a child too, so they can prioritize me and not.
That's what I'm
necessarily-
saying. Even if it's your biological child, it will change the shift of you being the main focus point to the child being the main focus point. That's why, if I check out the videos, tell about how long have you guys been married for, Babu, maybe 60 years and whatnot. I remember once she played this video where this old couple, Barry, when you get married and have kids, don't prioritize your kids.
Yeah.
Because they'll grow up and leave you.
Yeah, true.
Then
Because always-
you don't know what to do with that relationship
Yeah,
anymore.
because
Because the
now
whole
there's
relationship since Ushabanilingi,
Yeah.
Libana.
Yeah.
So Ari, keep it as it was before kids came.
Yeah.
You guys are the priority. Yes, now you have kids, but the kids must know who you guys are the
comes
priority.
first?
I mean,
So you shouldn't stop doing the things that you
yeah,
guys
the
used to
husband
do.
natural. Ari, you know what?
Just
ne?
stop.
As much as I love you guys, I'll put your mother over you guys anytime.
Yeah.
And the reason being is that once you guys have a life of your own and you leave me, kisala le motho. So if naketa when I face my main focus point, when you leave, the foundation of our relationship was you guys. That's why a lot of times when kids move out by overseas, that's why no bona batubana like your cougars and whatnot. Sababato it's about infidelity, kapo munno hang tourist because now that into about focus it's no longer there.
You know, actually, what I was disagreeing with earlier on was this thing of the baby daddy will always go back to the baby mama or something along those lines. I can't remember verbatim. Not
So,
always, and
I mean,
for me, for the baby mama, one thing I do know about the baby mama is that they always feel like, and this is valid for me, right? For the baby mamas, they always feel the reason why it's easy for a baby daddy to go back to the baby mama is because the baby mama always wants to raise the kids with the baby daddy as a family. So they will always leave that door open for them, even though they know, oh, this is a shitty person. But they will always think to themselves, maybe such a he says, so I need to let them back. And it's that thing, yeah, sometimes when a baby mama looks at the baby daddy, because they know who I have history with this person, the chances of me being with someone else are very slim now because I have kids or I have a kid. So the door for the baby daddy will always be open, right? Which is the reason why people that don't have kids, they not really for the idea of being involved with someone that has kids. That's because the baby daddy can come in anytime. And I do know who valid the baby daddy can come in at anytime. For me, it's valid because they would want to raise their kids with the baby daddy and become a family. And it's valid. It's valid. It's just that the baby daddy at the time probably is a fucking shit.
Whatever the reasons is
Right.
that they broke up, remember you're leaving a footprint, and that's a lifetime footprint.
Yeah, that's a life.
It is.
And also,
That's your
like
family, actually.
yeah, and in human nature, put money aside, achievements and all that. The biggest honor you can give a man is a child or a woman. That's the biggest achievement as humans. Our main purpose in life is to procreate. For you to saying, you know what, I'm gonna bear your child, there's no higher honor you can give that person than that child. So the reason, Kerry, they will always have, even if you can resent him and hate that person, they'll always have, you can never lock that door. There'll always need to be a slight door open. Because even if you cut off that person, ngwana ke yo msheba every day. Wena tshwana le ntate wa hao. Kapa fihle papa ka o kae? Ke tlo mbona neng papa? They will always have, anka fihle after 20 years, I feel like, hey, Smangele, funa ukukhuluma nawe. I will never be that just fuck you. You're gonna wanna give even that 10-second opportunity to just because of that slight open door. Bruh. It's chai.
And
Guys, we shouldn't dwell on this topic for too long.
okay.
No, sekete fela ke worry ke fela ka sekebana. Wow. Perfect thing to say, right?
What's the
in
next
this topic. Wow.
And no that's why Asababati and Asam.
That's why Ari they will come first.
Guys, I'm ready for war, man. I'm just not ready for them. My life doesn't allow it at this moment.
Okay, what's your guys' take on the hookup culture versus long-term relationships? In the current society that we're in, which one do you think is winning?
It's the hookup culture, obviously.
So
I mean, we've got the king of hookup this side.
Don't know what you talk about, pal.
But don't you think that has repercussions to it too?
Of course it does.
So honestly speaking, I think we are in a totally different climate when it comes to relationships in general. People who are in relationships are literally just hooking up themselves. You know what I mean? The reason I'm saying
Not all of them, by the way.
Okay, it's not all of them, but the climate is so shit that most of them are, without even knowing that is the case. You know what I mean? So here you're dating this particular girl. You are telling yourself, thinking I'm the only person there, you know? Yeah, now on the other hand, she has maybe 3 other motherfuckers and maybe other niggas who are still hollering at her, who she's freely giving opportunities to. Opportunities being, okay, you stand a chance to be with me, to sleep with me, to court me, to, date me, whatever, like, so it's a very tricky question to really answer because, I'm talking from observation, I've observed this.
From experience.
I do not want to say that. I can't say that. But anyway, this guy, right? This guy is like, this guy wants to bury me, boss.
Hey, vandaag zijn ze exposed.
Bruh.
Ons het dirty laundry. Niemand.
So I'm talking from observation and, just from also just, reading, we come, like, I think we live in an era where social media is also just really putting us out there, showing us what's actually out there, So you tend to not really miss much with social media because you get to see people's stories. People go out. There's different platforms where people come out and be like, hey, my name is unknown. I'm living, with my partner for like 10 years. And, the guy treats me good. And, we have a child together, but it's starting to haunt me. The child is 5 years old and the guy really loves the child. He's got a really good relationship with his child, but it's not his child. You know what I mean? So we see a lot of that. It's not just about the child thing. Sometimes it's just normal infidelity. Like you don't have children, but you're just either a serial cheater or you just have a tendency to want to cheat, Antoine. So coming back to what Kagiso's asking in terms of which one is winning, it would really be nice to say the normal relationships are winning, but from my observation and just what I read, what I see, I think there's a lot of just, infidelity taking place, meaning the courting, the hookups are taking the lead, which is a very wrong way. I don't want to position it in that way in terms of taking the lead as though they are supposed to compete. But for lack of a better positioning, then I'll say the hookup side is taking the lead in this case.
For me it's, and I don't like this hookup culture thing, right? Because it's fucked up. I mean, it's good when you're in your 20s, but it's fucked up when you're trying to do things in when you're now a bit older. And it's fucked up also because sometimes you've been a nigga that's been working hard in your 20s, and then
It can be healthy, but I'll answer that.
It can be healthy.
Yeah, it can be healthy as well.
Okay.
But let me let you continue.
Sometimes you go through your hardships, trying to make it, and then you make it once you're probably like 35 or something, and then you're trying to find a good person, and you find someone that wasted their 20s and they were sleeping around the whole of their 20s.
Yeah.
And then now you're thinking to yourself, where the fuck am I going to find a person? Now you're forced to go and date the 20-something-year-olds yourself.
So was this psychological stats
Miles and
that you're laying it?
kilometers.
What they discovered is that the more promiscuous you were in your youth, the difficult it is for you to be in a long-term relationship.
In a long-term relationship.
Long-term. I forgot.
Makes sense.
Anaba explain. Hore. It's for both guys and girls. The more partners you've had, the more difficult for you it is to stay with that one partner. Because remember, each partner leaves a footprint. Maybe all of you like the foot massages, all of orata the strokes the high, all of orata the way they kiss you, all of orata the way they hug you. You understand? Then you get the one partner that does one thing you like, but is missing all the other 10 things that you also like. Then Otsole LSG Tlapongo and resembles that one other thing that you like, and you let him hit because of that one thing that you like. And
Hey.
so it makes sense why back in the days they wanted you the first person you sleep with, basically either your partner or the mutso sanlena, because they can't really compare you with someone else because you're their first and only. You all they know. So now everyone has had chocolate cake. I got chocolate cake, let's carrot cake, velvet cake, yako shetoka to whatever. Understand? So as much as you can say it can be healthy, it is very toxic.
Because for me, that is why it's either you, unfortunately for a guy, right? And because even probably for a girl, but I'm gonna have to speak for a guy because I'm a guy. So for a guy, you do your things with papa, and then you get to a position whereby, okay, now I can settle down. You don't have a choice but to go and look for someone younger, even 10 years younger.
But now that young is also fucked up. But Kala 14.
I know, but you're gonna have to get like someone maybe 21, 22, 23 at that age to go and get
can also
someone.
be risky, because remember now you're fetching this individual at a young stage, and now you want them to commit. They have not necessarily trial and errored. So what happens is that you give them, you're literally having them, or you're having them barriered from everything that they are probably supposed to do. And
Okay,
this is
that's
now
true.
stages.
That's
Antoine.
true.
So
That's true.
it can go south or it can go well, Antoine. So, but the
Probably-
south part is that thing, you're going to get them, they're going to conform, they're going to love you, they're going to whatever. But I'm 21, 5, 7, 10 years later, now they're like, shit, I'm 32, I'm 35. You know, I don't know the club life. I don't know the party life. I don't know the single life. And yeah, this guy took me when I was still young. Then what do? They now want to live that life while you are around, Antoine. And they can't necessarily tell you that this is the life that they want to live. So what do? They hide it from you. And this is what now creates infidelity.
I'm gonna find out and I'm gonna replace them.
Samatano le dintwana tse dinyane, or people in her age. When at that time you're like 45, she's like 32. Now is that thing yore umata either le dithaka tsa gagwe at the time, or guys that are younger than her.
Plus, whether spanning or social gathering, have you done 1, 2, 3? No, I haven't.
ton.
Yo, I went a house of pee.
One ton.
They're
Then
planting seeds in
they
the
gain
head.
an urge. Yeah, they develop this urge. Yeah, but I haven't done this. You know what? One ton. And then she's out there, she's going risky,
And then she
she's
comes
going
and tells
crazy.
me, "Gore, ke tswa le dichum tsa."
One ton. Yo, kante ba metsang.
Ba lo mo paise. Ba lo mo
Boss.
etsa gore, "Chomi, ha o so e try."
O letsa dintho tse a sa di etseng wena.
Ke a gift. Bua le gift.
So that's why it can also be against you. Taba ya hore
The
lata
thing is,
motho
there's no
monyane.
win-win in these things because
There isn't, to be honest with you. That's why I was
Society is just fucked up
That's
the
why I
way
was
it is.
commenting to
You're
say
just taking chances.
the hookups sometimes do have a healthy side to them. Why? Because with a hookup, you're coming to an agreement. There's no lying. You look at me, I look at you.
Why Umbita king of hookup?
I tell
He's
you,
finding the positives in
my
hookup.
man.
he's going to make sure he finds it.
But it's facts, guys. It's really facts. I'm not trying to find and defend. It's facts. But listen to
We
this.
listen, we
You
don't
set up
judge.
your ring. This guy. You set up your ring. You are coming to an agreement. You know, she looks at you. You look at her. You're fantasizing about each other, and the agreement is that look, I like you, you like me, and yeah, you know, it's that urge that we have for each other. Let's just have a burst of passion, whatever the fuck it is. You know, and yeah, you go into it, you do it, and it's that thing at all. Great, it's done. You know, you've sealed the deal, and get set up. Are we still gonna continue and hook up from time to time, or are we parting ways? So it avoids a lot of situations of infidelity where you're with the person for like 5-10 years and you learn after that period or this person didn't really love you, or this person has just been a serial cheater their entire relationship. Whereas they came with just bullshitting.
Okay,
Now
let me
it's a
ask
waste
you a
of your
question.
time. It's a waste of your feelings, your emotions. You've invested everything. You bought a
Let me
house,
ask you
you
a
have
question.
kids, kanti, motupis. So that's why I'm saying that the hookup side, I'm not trying to promote it, but at the same
Sounds
time,
like you're promoting it.
it can.
Okay, let me pose a
the
question
healthy
to you.
side is that fact
You have the same girl. One has lived the best of her life,
Okay.
including sexually.
Meaning that she's been around.
Ne?
Okay.
And the other one hasn't.
Okay.
Which one would you pour your energy in to invest in? As
The
your
one that hasn't.
your long life partner.
The one that hasn't.
Case closed. Let's leave the hookup. Case closed.
But when you say
What
case
about the
closed,
positivity that you were talking about?
no, but I'm just saying, like, I don't understand what he's now contesting in his
No,
comments.
he wants to understand. I get it, there's a positivity and it's valid.
No. My
So
man,
are you
guys.
not going to consider
Pero
the
Scalabala,
positivity?
Hookup does not necessarily mean you've had other hookups in the past. And we're not really counting the number of hookups. Hookup is, now when you said hookup, is that thing you're already thinking, we come to an agreement to do whatever it is that has probably pulled us together.
But
it
wouldn't
either
you want
ends
to
there.
be with someone that you know that they're done with that whole phase?
Obviously, I would. But
Oh,
I'm
you
just
would.
saying.
So you're choosing that
I'm
one.
just saying that the climate is so fucked up right now that hookups are probably better. You save yourself from fucking
Also,
heartaches. You
saying,
save yourself
Jole,
from.
You would go for a hookup than a
No,
relationship.
I'm not saying I would
What
go
are you
for it.
saying?
The ideal thing is a relationship, but relationships aren't relationships anymore.
Exactly. So you
But
go
I'm
for
just
a
saying
hookup.
that the hookup is better.
Okay, so you would go for a hookup.
I wouldn't go for a hookup. It's
What?
not my ideal thing to want to go for.
But because of
However, it's because of the climate of just how relationships go nowadays.
You would go for a
relationships
hookup.
are hookups. That's what I said when I started this conversation, to say relationships tend to be actually hookups themselves. People just lie to each other to say, we're in a relationship. I only love you. I only want you. But they fuck around regardless. So they are hookups.
Nah.
So you rather, the reason I said hookups are healthier is because I'm feeling like, look, if you're gonna mention it from the get-go to say, look, I'm not looking for anything that's like long-term, that is serious. I just like you for your personality. I like what I'm seeing. I like your face. I like your lips. I like your ears. I like your nose. I like your boobs. I like your, you know,
Bro,
and
it's
you go
lust
on.
talking.
Type of thing, huh?
Exactly.
It's lust talking.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
But
Like,
I'm
hookups are
saying,
normally lust.
what you're promoting now and the answer you gave are contradicting one another.
Not necessarily.
Bro, don't think too much into it. When you find a girl of your dreams,
Yes.
She
Yes.
ticks all the boxes.
So now,
Yes.
2 ways that she has been, né? 2 roads she's gone past. One, she has a beautiful past, né?
Yeah.
But she hasn't lived when it comes to experimental side of life. The other one is she's well decorated, bro. Blazer high itlet to the beige. Whether from OGs and all that shit, she has lived a life, bro. Ankila konka ankaki bathu bam hey the ram sector dog. She now she doesn't want to live that life anymore. She just wants to relax and enjoy you.
And she's a 10.
What would you go for,
Inside
bro?
out.
Obviously, I just said.
Case closed.
No.
Stop justifying hookups. Case closed.
No,
bro.
guys. I think you're misinterpreting.
We're not. We understand what
You're
you're
putting me in
saying.
a situation where I have to choose between the two.
It's always choosing. In life, you always choose, bro.
But I'm just saying, like,
No, don't just say.
the question was,
What would you choose?
what is winning? The hookup life or the relationship life? What did I say? Most relationships have become hookups now. Meaning, there's not really a lot of honesty in relationships. And I was like, on the other hand, hookups also have the healthier side. Why? Because we tell each other the truth from get-go. It's not that thing that I'm getting into a relationship with you because you have money, or I'm getting into a relationship with you because you've got a pretty face or whatever. Like, it's just that thing to say, look, I like
what
you.
I see.
I like what I'm seeing. You like what you're seeing too. Let's have an underpants party. Anton, it's that type of situation. So that's what I'm answering to. But yes, in the event that I had to choose between miles and kilometers, I'm obviously going to be like, okay, fine. I'm gonna take the brand new car. Anybody would take the brand new car. Anton. So yeah. What's your take?
I'm taking the brand new car, though.
No, but on what the
Sometimes-
question was to say, what do you think is winning at this stage?
No, unfortunately, in the times that we live in, hookup is winning. That's because we live in fucked up times, and that's also because of social media.
Yeah, social media's fucked us over.
But can we give benefit of the doubt to it? The genuine ones we actually don't look at because they're not easy victims.
Exactly. They still
Genuine
there.
ones?
The genuine ones, like if Utoti media straight,
Yeah.
that only wants you, and I holler and she brushes me off. I'm not gonna include her when I count the list of hoes. So basically,
Yes, yes.
what I'm saying is that we may believe her society is fucked, of which it is, but we believe 8 out of 10 women or guys, they're just as fucked up because the people that we encounter are the ones that are fucked up. But you find is literally like how many of us here have gone to church or medida,
The
but
worst
we
place
go
to
to
find a
clubs. We go. How many of us have gone to a bookshop or you know what, maybe or hiking or something that's innocent but enjoyable. But we go to club and we expect you're gonna find something
so-
genuine from there.
Re batla mo plekeng e wrong. Tshwantse ke ye kerekeng.
King is the worst place to find a woman, my man. Trust me.
But I'm just
Okay,
saying,
hiking.
there's
Yeah,
people,
better
there's
place.
people,
Book library, yeah, maybe.
there's people that are genuine, but the same things that you want, bro. Because there's some even from teenage years, they've never been into the hookup culture.
True. That's true.
There's some people who don't even see what's so nice about clubbing. Bona ba nganyela buka, either to read a book or to hike or to go deep diving or to go to the ocean or whatever. Like, I'm not saying it's simple life, but basically their interests lie elsewhere.
But we should also not necessarily now paint the club life as though anybody that goes to the club is a bad person.
No, bruh. Of course, there's no 100% of everything.
Okay.
You might find a hoe at church. You might find a hoe in a book club. But I'm just saying, the majority of where hookups and
But
things
ring
happen,
about
they got
because
lapo.
the naked DJ actually found his wife there at the club. Wife. Amunyala. And they were
Before
married
any
for
wife,
years.
as much as he got an opportunity to wife her, before any wife, before I'm not saying she's a hoe or anything, but I'm just saying, now when you ask yourself is Like if Oshala made if Oshala girl and there's no much effort and she just says yes, there has to be that doubt in your mind is if she said yes to you, what about everyone else?
But you must remember, guys, it goes back to interest. Bro, like I always say to myself.
Bro, we get that. But what I'm saying is that there's gonna be that spark in your mind. It's like, where you gonna ask yourself
also there's nothing wrong.
I think you're taking us back to now making it difficult to say, look, if a person really, now that's what I go by, to say if a woman really likes me, I don't necessarily have to like try and convince her to be with me. Because if I'm gonna try and convince you to be with me, then that means you don't want me from get-go. Why do I have to convince you to be with me?
But imagine after a few words, since I
then maybe one guy, bro. Yeah? Maybe she really likes me.
Yeah, but how many people have she really liked?
Nah, come on, bro. Nah, guys, you're blowing it out of proportion.
We know.
Honesty, bro.
So at that moment, you would think you're that special.
What? Okay, tell me something.
Bro, what's a question wrong for talking on your hookup culture?
Get out of here. if you really like a girl, nah, or this girl, what response would you wish for?
No, obviously, I wish for her to make things easier for me.
Exactly.
I don't have to put that much
right?
effort.
So now, if let's say, for instance, nah, this girl that you really like is like, hey, it's fine, let's go on a date. You're gonna be happy, right?
Of course.
So, what would you really want from this girl on the first date? Wouldn't it be ideal for her to give you everything on the first date?
It would be, but I'm going to judge her.
That's the problem. Why would you want it, but you don't want it?
She's done this.
But that's the problem. What if she's only doing it with you for the first time?
Bro, what are the chances?
Come on, my man.
You think she's experimenting with me?
I'm just saying, what if she found the right nigga? She said, oh my God, I've been looking for this motherfucker for such a fucking long time. This is the right motherfucker. Now is the time for me to really give it up.
Nah, bro.
You want it. But when she gives it, you're going to be like, this is too easy to be true.
It's too good to be true.
Come on, bro. Come on.
In a Ponzi scheme.
What is that?
Invest 5,000, you get 100,000 in 3 days.
No.
That's a Ponzi scheme, bro.
No, guys, I'm not my man, like guys.
You just blabbed a few nice words. First day, she must give it up already. And
okay, but
just because she likes you, it must just be like that.
Exactly so. Nah. If you really like her, if you really like her,
I don't care how much.
What do you want from her?
There was a saying
on the first day. Wait, you've heard that saying. What do you want from her on the first day?
Kito Arab. This saying is gonna answer you.
No.
Listen. Ne? There's a car that you can afford and buy, ne? Then there's a car that's your dream car. If your dream car came as easy as a car that you can afford and buy,
it wouldn't be your dream car.
It wouldn't be valuable.
Come on, guys. You are.
Like we spanele, bro.
Nah, bruh.
You will value it.
Bro,
even when baby it's a girl's night out. You have that peace of mind where, hey, shit. She doesn't just give it up on the first date. Because whoever I try lang first date phela.
Javida, to say what if one
Mfana, what are the chances?
Bro,
that chance is there.
But it's impossible. As for you to commit infidelity or adultery is a different matter altogether. Oh fuck, but she's beautiful. Just know your wife also, or your girl also has the same mindset. But
that thing in fun, it's all good and nice because it doesn't make you work for anything. Everything is just comes easy.
But what if you connect? Guys, connection.
Let me tell you something. Now, I believe I don't go for people that
Ora.
Oh.
Now I believe you shouldn't go for anyone that has no interest in you. As soon as you approach this person, if they speak to you and then you say, okay, Kupa number or whatever, you're trying to finesse the number out of her and then she's giving you, it means she doesn't like you. Just move on. Don't try to force anything, right? There needs to be a liking from the other side for the things to go smooth. However, mfana, I can tell you right now, yes, she can make things easier for you and you hit on the first date or first night. Mara, the day she's going to go out, that thing is going to be at the back of your mind. Kimak. The day she says, baby, I'm going out with my friends and we're going party.
But what if you really connected?
You can be connected, but that thing is going to be at the back of your mind. Okay, is she going to do the same thing?
But what if it's just at the back of the mind? It's not the case.
Okay, but it's going to worry you, isn't it?
Okay.
Easy come, easy go, my man. What's the next
Nah,
topic?
I don't like that. But anyway, it's fine. Leave it at that. Street Squad, please give us your opinion on this one because it's a bit of a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
It's gonna this topic, it's gonna somehow intertwine with what we're talking about now. Né? Toxic positivities. Is it good or bad?
Just elaborate that.
Yeah.
So for example, your younger sister or brother or mchana call up business, or give me rap, but they whack, and you just say, "Yo, bruh, that's dope." But they never give you constructive criticism. Oh, about how about you do this? How about you do that?
Oh, so they can't tell you the truth.
So it's toxic, but it's positive.
Yeah. Like
It's offensive, but it's positive.
how
It's
let's
not
say
offensive. It's
It is offensive to the.
Okay, so for example,
to lie. Yeah, it is offensive to lie and
let's-
make it
let's say
seem like I'm
group
good
yabo
at something
kele,
and
ne?
you know I'm not.
Let's say 3 girls, ne? Buy a pair of the leggings and the crop top. Then of those 3 girls, there's one fat chick. We pair the same outfit. You do know clothing, ito tsamaka puri type na inyo ana. But I'm just I show me. I really sharp and I did. Instead I'm just oh girl, you slaying, you beautiful. And how doesn't look nice, but yeah. When you hating it, but deep down they know that outfit is whack. So that's what I mean about toxic positivity.
It's necessary.
Something you can do it, but
That's
you know
sabotage.
I say for
It's necessary in life, dog. Now I don't believe in lying to people. Huitone was saying it earlier on. What did he say? This guy, I think you said, I just say anything or something along those lines. I don't believe in lying, dog. If I feel like something is, when I'm saying something the way it is, I'm looking out for you. You might not even think I'm looking out for you.
So you're not for this toxic positivity shit.
No.
You think I'm
your night
hating.
can be very detrimental. Because
So now I believe, I just need to tell you the truth because I'm saving you from any embarrassment.
But for me, ne, to be very honest, it depends who you are for me in my life. I can't say if Kito chat alone one day a week and you ask me a question and I'm gonna give you my honest opinion. Ito talento.
But look, if
I'll
you've
just
got
lie
nothing-
to you once.
No.
How's
If
my
you've got-
hair? Oh, it looks
if
nice.
you've got nothing
and
nice to
yeah,
say,
so
don't say nothing.
and that's shy.
You see, I think it does have like a level that, it can really become very toxic. Yes, a comment like, how's my hair? Leona, it can be fucked up because, if their hair is really fucked up and you're like, it's good, then you've literally just fueled something you're not supposed to fuel. So,
Exactly. Petrol.
no, I am against it. I believe in just being honest.
Bro, you can't just throw honesty everywhere.
Yes, I understand you can't throw it everywhere,
can.
but there's ways to put it in a nice way that is also going to be honest, and it might be received negatively, but the blow is not going to be as intense as it would have been if you had said it looks terrible. So if they come up like, how's my hair? Then there's ways to be like,
I think you should do it like this.
I like the color. However, the style can just, the style looks a little dull. I think if you can maybe just twist it in this way,
Bro,
it'll look better.
By you saying dull, that's already blunt.
Okay, yes, I'm not probably using the right words right now, but you'll find the words. Antoine. But don't be like, oh, it looks perfect. Let me take a photo, knowing that it's fucking fucked up. Nah, bro, that's sabotaging, bro. Sometimes I think we think a lot as human beings, nah? You know, there's ways that you can tell that this person is not disrespecting me. They're really just being honest and they're looking out for me. You get what I mean? You know, there's also times when I've been maybe told that, hey, dude, that particular pant does not look proper on you, or that particular shoe, or whatever.
But who said that to you? Was it a perfect stranger?
It would have probably been. In most cases, it was probably a person that I've probably seen, but not really a close person to me, or even sometimes a stranger, to be like, hey, you look good. However, this does not look proper. It's not easy. It's very difficult, and I hear where you're coming from. You do have a point to say, you know what? Sometimes you are literally put in a corner and you have to lie, and I understand that. Yes, sometimes you do have to lie. Then I've had situations where I did lie. However, I just feel like
you guys are overthinking it. All of you guys have been in relationships, né? And in knowing how what's that word? I don't want to sound misogynistic. What's that fucking big word? Yeah, whatever word they like using, né? We know how women tend to be.
Or chauvinist.
I understand how women tend to be. Are you telling me right now you're 100% truthful with your lady? I feel like, baby, am I fat? Yeah,
that one is a bit difficult.
That's what I'm saying. For peace sake, either you have to lie or
most of the time you have to lie, especially if you care too much about the feelings of the person, right? So you put their feelings first before the honesty.
Yes.
However, sometimes there are ways.
You're not putting their feelings first because honesty is going to eventually catch up with them.
I know.
But honesty might fuck up the relationship. Because sometimes what's wrong is not what you said.
It's how you said it. That's what I'm saying.
Not even how you said it.
You need to find a way to say it.
It's who said it. Am I fat? She's feeling fat. Her confidence is low. She just wanted assurance from you. Even if you're lying, she knows you're lying.
That matters right now. Are you gonna say you?
Baby, look.
It's like this, Puakane.
I'm not saying you're fat, but
you can do something about that.
You and I can work around something. I mean, you get what I mean? Yeah, I hear you guys. I hear what you're saying.
It depends on what's being asked.
When it's being asked and who's being asked.
Yeah.
Now, that's why my overthinking fucks me up. Because whenever I'm asked a question, is that why are you asking me this question? Because it's always tricky. As innocent as the question is. It's when I get in my head is, why the fuck you asking me how much I have?
Why you want to spend on now?
No, can I 50? Is it gonna be enough next week? No. Okay, twara ki to clip. You understand that? But it's that thing. Why are you asking me this question? What accomplish a question on putang I'd like to know that before go Arab.
So would you want someone to say, you know, I feel like maybe let's say your girlfriend says to you, I feel like maybe that dress makes me look fat. Do you think I'm fat? That's the reason. I'm giving you a reason why I am asking you if you feel like I'm fat.
I think communication fucks us up, whether in a relationship or not. I communicate. As much as you must ask a question, but you're not communicating. Why are you asking me that question?
Oh shit!
Fuck.
Oh shit!
But you're not communicating to me as to why you are posing that question. What are you doing Saturday?
Because sometimes you might
don't ask me what am I doing Saturday. Ask me, Huri. This is what I'm planning on doing. Is Saturday fine with you? I don't have plans. I just want to chill. And if I tell you I don't have plans,
you already think I'm free.
I'm available.
Yeah.
And if I say I have plans, and what you're proposing is something I want to do, then I'm fine. Just communicate to it. You know what? I'm thinking of planning a hiking trip or us going to lunch. Are you available on this day? Then if I'm interested, I'll propose another day if I'm not available. Communication, Buffett.
True.
Because sometimes you might think, it's a trap that they're asking you that question.
I think we overthink as well. That's the blatant That's just blatant overthinking.
That's the problem, because you don't know where they're asking the question from.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they're trying to trap you. Very, very, they already think when you think they're
Yeah.
fat. So they just want you to say it. Anyway, do you have another topic?
Nah, we can BTW and wrap it up, my dog.
What is a BTW?
The BTW is that there's no BTW. Let's wrap it up,
I can't
G.
believe this light went off.
Bro, this is just shocked.
Can you see me there at on the camera?
Yeah.
Okay. So just a quick yes or no, and then you just give a reason or however you feel why you're saying no or why you're saying yes. So should women chase men? Lesego.
Of course. Why not?
Yes.
Reason?
It's because for me, I don't understand. I've seen women on social media saying, "Oh, now I will never chase a man." Then it means you will never date your type. You date the type that wants you.
That's desperate for you. And then
It's not desperate, dog.
when
No, it's not
Desperate is going after what doesn't want you.
Exactly.
That's desperation.
no. I'm just saying. He's saying you end up being with a man that
You don't want,
that
but
you don't
wants
want
you.
that wants you. Yeah, meaning that's desperate for you. Like the man
Exactly.
that's desperate
For the same
You
reason,
just
I agree.
settling.
And also, one thing is that you find just by taking a chance on that shot, that person actually wants you as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you know how society has made it so much that when men go after women they want, they seem like predators.
Yeah.
They seem like stalkers or whatever
Yeah.
the case is. So a lot of men don't abasa share that anymore because it seemed like harassment to a
true.
lot of people.
True.
So nka thola hore le sheba ne tlapong out o batla. But how about to see ka wa imposer or
Yes.
invading your
And
space?
in most cases,
just
that's
by
what
you
happens,
just
yeah.
saying come over.
Yeah.
I don't need to share. Like just hi, how are
Yeah.
you? You actually look handsome over
Yeah.
there. Whatever the case is, you don't even need to say come. Let's date.
Yeah.
Let's do whatever. Just breaking the ice of saying hi, how are you? No, good. Just by that alone, you open the doorway saying, okay, that advancement is enough for me to try to pursue this. So yes, go after what you want, bruh. Why, if that's your goal, why not? If you can go after your career, your
Go after
education,
everything you want in life,
everything except
for a
love.
man.
Yeah, true.
It's not even a man except love.
I guess the question is saying, should women
Yes.
chase men?
Yes.
So yeah, no, I'm for it
They
as
wanted
well.
equality, so they should hunt as well.
Yeah, I'm for it as well. Yeah, I'm for it as well. And I sometimes do feel like men are the prize. Not
No,
sometimes, but I
nah,
do believe
always.
that men are the prize. And the prize being the fact
The
that
pick.
if we are going to be providers, if we are going to be, okay, let me not even say providers now. If I'm going to be,
There's already a shortage of men.
yeah, if I'm going to be, yeah, the first thing is already a shortage of men. But if I'm going to be the one to pay for the first date, the one to propose, the one to pay a lobola in the event that I'm dating a black woman, the one to pay for the wedding, the one to pay for our trips, buy a house, buy a car, then it only makes sense that you chase me because I'm literally the funder. You get what I mean? So you are supposed to be in a position where now is that thing, you know what, nah, I'm gonna chase that motherfucker and that's who I want because of the fact that he's
going to
at the end of
do
the
it.
day
Yeah.
gonna be the one to do everything.
And
Okay.
I've seen
So-
this on social media where
yeah.
someone was saying, "Hoy, going after a girl, that's like going after an expense."
Practically, like you're going for
It
debt.
makes sense for me for girls to want you as a man
Yeah.
because you are the one that should have options.
Exactly. You're the one that should have options.
Because
You,
at the end
you're
of the, day,
prize.
you're the one that's going
Yeah.
to pay for everything.
Exactly. At the end of the day, you're the one that's going to pay for everything. And if you're looking for a sponsorship, you're the one running for that sponsorship. You're the one looking for that
You're
sponsorship.
the one that's supposed to send a proposal.
When they go and get what's this? NFSAS. NFSAS doesn't come to them. They're the ones that apply for NFSAS. You get what I mean? So I think it's the same thing that should actually just happen in society in the dating game.
This
To
is
say-
why This is why I don't even believe now as a man of chasing after a girl. No matter how much I want the
You
girl.
want them, yeah, true.
No matter how much.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm the one that's going to be paying for the dates. I'm the one that I'm going to be suggesting the vacations, all this shebang. And
Practically.
because I'm suggesting it, I need to pay for it. And as a man, Vela, I need to do it. But now I must chase you.
To pay.
At the end of the day, I'm going to pay for everything.
Definitely.
Fuck it.
Nah.
Fuck it.
So that's our take on that. Street Squad, you need to just, give your comment on how you feel about that. And we're wrapping up. Thank you very much for tuning in. Global Streetz Live. We're at it. We are at it. And we are at it. And it'll always be on your screens. Continue tuning in. Let your friends know about this. Let their friends know about this. And we are out of here.
Yeah. What am I doing?